When you send a take-home assessment, we know you care about trust. Trust that the candidate is who they say they are, trust that they understand the rules of the assessment, and trust that the report and recommendations you receive give you an accurate understanding of the candidate's actual capabilities, so you can confidently decide whether or not to move forward. 10 years ago, we pioneered the take-home assessment, but a lot has changed since then. So this year, we went back to the drawing board with a beginner's mindset and asked ourselves, if we were to build a trustworthy assessment from scratch today, what would it look like? Now, the perfect solution would be for each candidate to have a personal proctor with them in the room when they took the test. In a world of services software, that's now possible. Today, every take-home assessment comes with the option for a personal proctor to sit with the candidate for the duration of their test. Let's have a look. I just got invited to take an assessment with a company I'm really excited about. When I start my test, the proctor greets me and lets me know it's going to be there for the duration of my test. The first thing it asks is for some basic information from me, like my email address, my years of work experience, and I need to accept some terms, and this is fully customizable by you. Next, the proctor helps me understand the format of the test. So it looks like I'm going to have a coding question and, oh, I can take a sample test too if I wanted to get a feel for what this is going to be like. But I'm feeling pretty confident, so let's move forward. Finally, the proctor helps me set up my testing environment. I need to grant access to share my webcam, and I need to share my screen. Now, the proctor is going to stay in the background throughout my test unless it has something I need to see. For example, here, it's letting me know I need to share my entire screen and not just a tab or a window. Cool, I think we're ready to start. So the proctor is setting up the environment, and here I am. I see the question on the side, and the proctor has slipped out of the way. Let's see here. What do I need to do? It looks like I need to calculate the minimum number of bit flips required to make all integers in an array the same. I know how to do that. I'm going to switch to Python because that's my favorite language and start to write my answer. Let's see. Oh man, I'm having interview brain. I know how to solve this, but I can't quite remember the syntax that I need to find the length of the array. You know, in these situations, I've gotten pretty comfortable with hopping into Google or ChatGPT to quickly find the syntax and unblock myself. So let's do that now. Hey ChatGPT, can you tell me the syntax in Python to find the length of an array? Of course, I knew this. All right, let me jump back in and keep going. Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to change tabs. Well, that's really helpful. The proctor is making sure I understand the rules of the test, but it also gives me the ability to explain why I went into another tab. So I can say, I'm sorry, I was just looking for the syntax. Just looking for the syntax. Cool. For most people, that's all I'm going to do, and then I would continue with my test. But what if I was the kind of person who wanted to game the system? What if instead of just asking for the syntax, I actually asked ChatGPT to give me the full answer? Hey, can you solve this for me? This looks like a pretty good answer. I think I'm going to use it. Let me copy and paste, and oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to jump out of there a second time. That's okay. I'll say, I was just looking for advanced syntax. I was just looking for advanced syntax. All right, let me plug this in and run my test cases. Cool, I'm ready to submit. So how do you tell the difference between the candidate who's just looking for the syntax and the candidate who's actually looking for the answer? Let me show you the report. We've revamped our candidate reports. So here's a candidate who got 100% and had a really high code quality score, but I can see that there were some integrity issues. I can jump into the session playback and see each of the suspicious activities and what was actually happening on the candidate's screen. So here's where our candidate went to ChatGPT to get the syntax, and I can see that that's what they asked for, and then they came back and just used that in their response. If that's all the candidate did, you might choose to move forward. But there was another flag. The candidate went back to ChatGPT, and even though they told us they were just looking for advanced syntax, I can open up their window and see they actually asked ChatGPT for the full answer. This gives you the confidence to decide whether or not to move forward with full information. We know you want your candidates to show up and win. Here to tell you how we're helping candidates prepare to show up as their best selves, let me introduce Travell.